Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see how we can create different type of variables in Automation Anywhere and how can we use them. So in the last video, we had created a folder of first bot and inside that we had created hello bot as my task bot. So over here, I'm going to create a new task bot named variables bot and we will see what are the different type of variables that we can create and which are the mostly used variables that we need to know primarily. So the first one is a string variable. And these variables, the ones that we are going to see, most of them also have their corresponding packages as well. So we will see that one by one. So the first type of variable that we want to see is a string variable. Now, in the string variable, how we can create it, we can go to my variables panel in the top left side, where I can click on the plus symbol. And here I can create a string variable. By default, my type is selected as string. Whenever I'm creating a new variable, I can name the string as something like str message, which will say that my variable is of type string and this is the name of the variable that I want to give. This is one of the naming conventions that we can follow. So let's say I create this variable, then it will show up in the left hand side. Similarly, let's say if I want to create a different type of variable like a number, so I can select the type as number and I can add here something like n counter or something. Let's say I want to create a variable for a counter, I can create it from here. So this is where we can simply define the variables that we want to create. Otherwise, let's say if we want to directly create it while we are making the bots, then in that case we can, let's for example, I want to create a string variable, then I can just drag this in the center like a sign. And let's say I write my name here like Sejal. And let's say I want to store my name in a variable, then in that case I can also click, I can either select from the drop down what are the variables that are already available to me in my bot of this type string, or let's say I want to create a fresh one, then I can click on this right side, the button is there, we can click on it and we can give a name. So let's say I want to write something like str name. So if I do it like this, then Sejal, this value of string Sejal will be stored in this variable of str name. And if I want to view the value at any point, then we can simply again pull up a message box from the panel. We can drag and drop this or we can double click. When we double click, it goes to the next line. So this is how we can get the package in the center. Now here, as we saw last time in the hello bot, we can write two double dollar signs and in the center we can define the name, the variable name. So here, if I select str name and click on it, then I will be able to see the name displayed. If I run it, then okay, so we can now see that we have received this output. And if I click on close, then my bot will execute successfully. So this is how we can define, assign value, and view a string variable. Now there are also a few more options available with string, like we saw how we can assign it. So there is assign, extract text, compare, find length, lowercase, generate random string, replace. So there are a lot of other options. I would highly encourage you all to, explore all these packages and see how you can interact with and work around strings using all these options. Now we will see another type of variable that is number. We also saw how we could create one that is n counter. So one another way is to do it from here. Like let's say if I type number here, then we also have a number package dedicated, and I can drag and drop this into the center. And when I click on this package, I can select the variable that I want to assign the value to, and I can put the value over here. So since we had already created this counter variable, I will select this here. And let's say I want to add something like, let's say, for example, I want to add the year. So I have added the year here as number, and I'll click on save. Now let's say if I want to see this value in my message box, I would usually click over here, insert a value, and here we have this variable. And as you can see here, we are getting this does not return a string value because this is a number type of variable. Then in that case, we usually want to click on this add expression item. And over here, we get a few options like increment, which will increment or decrement, which would like increase or decrease the number by one, or a to string, which will convert this 2026 number into its string counterpart without actually changing the value. So if I click on this, then in that case, you will see that I'm seeing this counter variable, and then there is this one sort of like a small function which is appended to the variable. What it will do is it will enable us to view the number value inside this message box, which actually takes input as a string only. So if I run this now, I should be able to see both my string and number side by side in my message box. Yes, so now we can see the value that we wanted over here. Now with the number package also, we have a few options of assign that we just saw. We can increase or decrease the number value as well. Let's say I want to check this decrement package, for example. I will drag and drop this over here. Now in this place, I will be giving the source value or the source number to which I want to perform the decrement action on. So I will select the counter from here, n, yeah, and let's say I want to decrement it by 5, for example. And to what variable do I want to assign the new value to? So currently it is 2026, and when I decrement it by 5, it will become 2021. So where do I want to store that 2021 value? Do I want to store it again to my previous variable, or do I want to store it to a new number? So we can, based on whatever logic we want to apply here, we can select the option, or we can create a new variable. And if I now, after we assign it and then decrement it, if we see it now, then we will be seeing 2021 instead of 2026. Yes, so we got the output.